Welcome to Engage Math, Lesson 7, Problem 1. And we are looking at a situation with an aquarium that has 3,600 gallons of water in it. So we're going to start by saying, okay, we know we have 3,600 gallons. We have that amount until an hour or even a minute passes by. But every hour, the amount of water goes down by 800 gallons. So G of H means the number of gallons after H hours. So after 1 hour, we would have to subtract off 800 because it's negative 800 times 1. If it was 2 hours, it would be negative 800 times 2. So this is the function that represents the situation. So now it says after how many gallons of water after 1 hour, 15 minutes. Now, 15 minutes means 15 out of 60 because there's 60 minutes in an hour, which reduces to 1/4 of an hour. So what I like to work with decimals and with fractions, but for this situation, I'm going to call the 1 hour and 15 minutes 1 and 25 100ths of an hour. So it's really 1.25, meaning 1 hour and a quarter of an hour. So G of 1.25 or 1 and 25 100ths is equal to negative 800. And then we're going to put that decimal, the number of hours, into H, substitute it in for H plus 3,600. Now, if there's no calculator, which there is suggested to be no calculator with this, but if you really feel like you need it, feel free to. But what I'm going to recommend is that we try the mental math with this. Negative 800 times 1 and a quarter. 1/4 of 800 is 1/4 of 800, which is 200. So negative 800 would be the first hour, and then another 200 gallons would be emptied in the next quarter of an hour. So that would be a total of negative 1,000 plus 3,600, which is going to, for this problem, tell us that after an hour and 15 minutes, we have 2,600 gallons of water left in the tank. All right, so now we're going the opposite way because now we're being told that we have 200 gallons, and we're trying to solve for what H is, how many hours have passed. So we use the same function that we did in part A, but this time we're solving for H, not for the number of gallons left. So I think the easiest thing to do is to subtract 3,600 from both sides, which is going to give us a negative 3,400 equals negative 800H. Now, when we divide both sides, I'm going to rewrite that right up here just so you can see it. Negative 3,400 equals negative 800H. We divide both sides by negative 800 to get H by itself. Okay, so you might again be thinking, all right, time for a calculator, but I'm going to recommend that you know the 800s cancel. So this time we have H equals, so I'm just going to say H equals, and then we have 34, the zeros can cancel, so 34 over 8. The negatives can cancel as well, can reduce to 17/4. And we know that 17/4 is exactly the same as 4 hours and 1/4 of an hour. So we're kind of back to that quarter of an hour being 4 hours and 15 minutes. And that's how long it would take for us to be left with just 200 gallons in the tank. Okay, let's go to part D. So I took the liberty of already drawing out the points for you, or not really the points, but the scale. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to say, hey, at time 0, we have 3,600 gallons. So I'm going to put a point right there at 3,600. And then every single hour, the tank empties 800 gallons. So I'm going to go down 2 to 2,800 and over 1. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1, because we're going really down 800 and over 1. And then for this last one, for the last point, if we actually are going to end at the point where we are out of water, where we have 0 amount of water left. And we know that that's going to be at 4.5 hours. At 4 hours and 15 minutes, we have 200 gallons left. So what you'll see is that at 4.5 hours, right about there, we would have a totally empty tank. So we're going to now draw that line, and this is, again, let's just make that go right to there. And that is the end of this very kind of challenging question. All right, Have a good, enjoyable rest of your time in this lesson. It's a great lesson. See you soon. Thanks for joining us at Engage Math.